And that's our cue.
Yes, hi.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News. Thanks for joining us. I'm Craig Nolan.
And I'm Daniel Pineda.
My name's Adele Kuo.
And this is our last show, believe it or not, for August.
Hot August. Hot
August.
August.
Hot August 2019. Thanks for joining us. And we'll do our best, our level best, to bring you another quality show here from Studio A, right down here in Clarendon. So we have our usual stuff. Are you ready? Our usual stuff here, news and community bulletin board. As I mentioned, also, you may have noticed that Adele's here for another installment of
It's Easy Being Green.
Indeed it is.
Wow,
Well,
got it.
We're getting so good at that, we're going to have to put it on tape. A roll-in from Oaty and Mashy. Oh, no, not them again. Our news for seniors. And then also another roll-in from our styrofoam mom, Miriam, Gennari, and her guest. And that's our show. But before we go, social media reminder from Senior Pineda.
Let's get social, guys. We can watch the Arlington Weekly News on our very own social medias. You can watch us on youtube.com/Arlington Weekly News, the number 1. Also, facebook.com/Arlington Weekly News. And we can't forget the radio, right, Craig?
Also on the radio, you can hear the audio from Arlington Weekly News on WERA 96.7 LP. FM. Check us out. We're there in your ear. All right, here we go. As promised now, number 1 news item. Here we go. Well, a spokesperson for Arlington County Public Safety Commission, Communications and Emergency Management has announced that estimates for damage to the county property from the July 8th flooding have risen from $3.5 million to nearly $6 million. Arlington has submitted its preliminary assessments to the state of Virginia, but that assessment is subject to validation. That process can take a while and go on for weeks, after which the information will be provided to FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Agency. Reimbursement is also reportedly being sought through the county's insurance plan. As for local homeowners, renters, and businesses, their remedy consists of private insurance and loans through the Small Business Administration. Daniel.
And next on our next news story for tonight, some 6 years after the commencement of work, Arlington is finally getting back to the area known as the Ballston Beaver Pond. The pond was originally built in 1980 to collect runoff from Interstate 66. Soon after its creation, it became a habitat for muskrats, geese, ducks, herons, egrets, blackbirds, fish, turtles, and yes, even, beavers. As the years went by, invasive vegetation followed vegetation, and as did human litter. Craig.
And, with more on the Beaver Pond, longtime viewers of Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News may recall the original host of EBG, our Easy Being Green segment, as Lily Weitzel. Well, Ms. Weitzel is now a stormwater outreach specialist, and she reports that a revised improvement project is in the permitting phase with the Virginia Department of Transportation. She expects actual construction will begin sometime in the summer or fall of 2020. She also says that the east side of the Beaver Pond will be closed during construction, but that the trail that leads from Fairfax Drive to the Custis Trail will remain open. However, the restoration plans include only, and take notes on this now, turtles, birds, amphibians, and pollinators. No beavers. And a name change might also be needed. So stay tuned on that. We'll give you more information as it comes our way. Daniel.
Where are the beavers?
Where are the beavers?
Well, viewers and listeners may recall that the Arlington County Board voted to restore a portion of the Arlington Independent Media budget. The vote took place in April of 2018. However, the restoration was not complete. It was only $70,000, not the full $90,000 of the planned cut. In addition, the release of the $70,000 was contingent on AIM providing the county board with proof that it had raised over $35,000 on its own. Now, in August 2019, we can report that the county has accepted AIM's proof and finally released the $70,000 they had been holding. This announcement comes just in time for AIM's fall fundraiser, but more on that later.
More later. All right, we'll be back with that and more CBB right after we hear from Adele and another installment of
It's Easy Being Green.
Yeah.
All right,
Very
great.
nice. I like your colorful EBG top tonight.
Thank you.
Very nice sweater.
And not only am I here, but wow, Joe has brought a whole herd to join us. Because as summer fades away, it is time for the kiddos to head back to school. And since every day is Earth Day in Arlington, school is not only for teaching the 3 R's of reading, writing, and arithmetic, but also teaching important planet-saving skills, starting with the 3 R's of reduce, reuse, and recycle. So we can help our kids develop a connection to the environment. Before we send them off with the basic school supplies, we can make small changes because it's easy to be green when we green up their supplies without any effort at all. Number 1, they can tote around a chemical-free backpack. Or number 2, strive for plastic-free lunch containers. Avoid the single-use plastic bottles and instead pack a reusable stainless steel lunchbox and water bottle to reduce the toxin exposure. Number 3, pack a waste-free and healthier lunch with organic, locally grown produce. Number 4, use recycled paper notebooks and products. And number 5, use non-toxic glues, markers, crayons, etc. Number 6, recycle your old electronics and don't forget to recycle the batteries too. Number 7, let's look at greening their wardrobe. When buying new, look for organic cotton and bamboo or recycled fabric. We can also shop in vintage or thrift stores for more interesting finds and arrange a clothing swap with their friends. And number 8, we can streamline their transportation by trying a car-free diet. Let's use public or school buses, walk, bike, or carpool. And then becoming a greener student doesn't have to be difficult either. Here's 3 simple ideas to share at school. They could, number 1, participate in the upcoming Walk, Bike, and Roll to School Day. This is an international celebration, the first Wednesday in October, that encourages students to walk or bike to school while teaching them about the health, environmental, and transportation benefits of walking and biking. The second idea is kind of a fun one. You can host a solar cookout where parent and student volunteers create solar-powered ovens made out of cardboard boxes, aluminum foil, and some rocks and sticks. You can treat the school to a delicious dessert of s'mores cooked by the sun in these solar ovens. This will be a great example of power, of natural energy, and will be a big hit for everyone. And the third one is to sponsor an endangered animal. September 4th kicks off the month with National Wildlife Day. So help your kids and students learn about endangered red pandas, elephants and rhinos, koalas, and many, many more. Almost any day in September offers a holiday to save our flora and fauna, our environment and planet. And remember, it's easy being green.
Indeed it is. I like your little menagerie down there.
Oh, fun.
Got the whole crew.
Yeah, we've got everybody invited.
I'm waiting for words of wisdom from them.
Okay.
Joe the
Listen
tree,
carefully.
Joe Tree Frog is happy. He has more friends.
But they look like they're about ready to say something. We'll keep an ear open for that. Thanks very much,
easy
Adele.
being green.
We appreciate it. It's easy being green, indeed it is. All right, here we go. As promised now, our CBB, Community Bulletin Board segment. Microsoft Excel is a powerful program used to organize information, perform calculations, present data, and a lot more. If you have ever wanted to learn more about it, well, now is your chance. This free event will teach you the basics of the 2016 version of Excel and how to use it. Registration is required. Participants are required to have basic computer skills prior to the session. The class is being offered on 2 days, with the first one coming up Wednesday, September 4, from 7 to 8:45 in the Cyber Center at Columbia Pike Branch Library. They're located at 816 South Walter Reed Drive. And session 2 is Tuesday, September 10, from 7 to 8:45 in the evening in the shop at Central Library. They're located at 1015 North Quincy. You can register online by visiting library.arlingtonva.us/calendar and then search for Excel. That sounds like a good program, so check it out. Daniel.
Fred, let's get some entertainment here. The music's in our ears for sure.
Entertain away, my friend. Go.
Arlington's premier music festival, exciting news, the Roslyn Jazz Festival, is returning this year for its 29th year. This free event includes many activities, including a pop-up beer and wine garden, local food trucks, and an interactive art exhibit. The performances by the Suffers, Chawa, Leila Makala, and the Jogo Project. Parking is very limited, so travel via public transportation is certainly recommended. Join in on the festivities on Saturday, that's September the 7th, from 1 to 7 p.m. That's at the Gateway Park, located at 1300 Lee Highway. Where public transportation goes, communities grow.
And do they? That's very good. That's clever. Did you come up with that?
No.
Where have you heard that before? Excuse my News for Seniors glasses. They're flying all over the place. Our next item in our CBB segment here, science is cool, but do you know what is even cooler or more cool? Mad Science. Indeed it is. Maryland-based Mad Science of DC is bringing their program to Arlington. Designed to help increase scientific literacy in children at a young age, this program is both educational and fun. This is taking place on Sunday, September 8 at 11 in the a.m. at Lubber Run Amphitheater, 200 North Columbus Street. So stop by Lubber Run and check it out. Daniel.
In the a.m.
In the a.m.
You can't forget that.
Portion of the day. Your turn.
Owning your own nonprofit organization is certainly an admirable goal, but, well, is it realistic? This event will help you sort through everything there is to consider about running a nonprofit and decide if it's right for you. Whether you decide to move forward with your nonprofit or continue down another path, this event will surely be a great resource. This event is happening on Tuesday, September the 10th from 2 to 4 p.m. in the Glebe Room. That's located in the Central Library, located at 1015 North Quincy Street. And as always, we want to thank our own Jordan Koharski for this week's CBB Stories. Thank you, Jordan, for your hard work and certainly your dedication.
You bet. Thanks, Jordan. We'll be back with News for Seniors. Don't go away right after we hear from, oh no, another installment of Oaty and Mashy. Can you believe it?
Hey, Mashy. What is it, Oaty? Are you feeling okay? Sure, I feel fine. Then how come you keep sneezing? Oh, that's for the Arlington Independent Media Fall Fund Drive. The what? The Arlington Independent Media Fall Fund Drive. You know, it's Arlington's very own TV and radio station. We have a TV station? Sure, you knew that already. We have a radio station? Sure, only it's called WERA-LP 96.7 on your FM dial. I don't have a dial, remember? I'm just a bowl of oatmeal. That's okay. I don't have a dial either, since I'm just a bowl of mashed potatoes. Hey, you stopped sneezing. Oops. Sorry. I'm supposed to encourage everyone to go to www.arlingtonmedia.org and make a donation. The official drive goes from September 30th through October 13th, but they can start sooner if they want to. So how much do they have to donate? No set amount. $5, $10, $20, or more, but whatever they feel like. I guess something is better than nothing, but what does that got to do with you sneezing? Oh, I just heard that it's a good idea to be enthusiastic, kind of infectious. You know, to help spread the word. Hey, now you're sneezing. I guess I must have caught whatever you've got. Yeah, I guess enthusiasm must be kind of contagious. Oaty and Mashy, the damp and cold. Oaty and Mashy, the jokes are old. Soggy oatmeal and mashed potato, trying to act like they're Socrates and Plato. They don't do much, but they talk for free. And that's the way, they're just like you and me.
All right,
That's
another installment
talent.
of information there presented to us by Oaty and Mashy. And don't be afraid to get involved and join in the bandwagon of fun with the next upcoming AIM fundraiser. All right, thanks to Oaty and Mashy for that. Here's promised now. Here we go with our News for Seniors segment, News for Seniors glasses in place. And story number 1, September is National Senior Center Month. Arlington is fortunate to have five active, very active, 55-plus centers, 3 in South Arlington and 2 in North. This year's theme is called The Key to Aging Well. All 5 of the county's centers are offering programs highlighting socializing, learning, and fitness activities that are all keys to aging well. You can visit a center and check out some or all of their programs. For more information, give them a call at 703-228-4721. Daniel.
Well, Craig, registration is open to join the popular Encore Chorale. Auditions are not required, just a love of music. Both beginners and experienced singers are certainly welcome. There are a number of Encore Chorales in the metro area who often combine for seasonal concerts. The Langston Brown Encore Chorale and the Goodwin House Chorale combine for Christmas and spring concerts. Both are free, yes, free, and open to the public. The first weekly rehearsals will take place on Tuesday, September the 3rd. That's at 1:45 p.m. at the Langston Brown Community and Senior Center. That's located at 2121 North Culpeper Street. There is a fee which covers 15 rehearsals. For more information, call 703-228-6300. That's not free. There is a fee.
There is a slight fee that, I don't know if they have a scholarship program, but you could investigate that. Also in our News for Seniors, theater educator Michael Berlin Heinlein is presenting a series of readings of the great dramas that thrill with passion and understanding. The series also features some of Shakespeare's more problematic plays. The program begins Friday, September 6th, 1:30 in the afternoon at Aurora Hills Community and Senior Center located at 735 18th Street South. For more information and to register for this free series, call them at 703-228-5722. Daniel.
And our final senior story for tonight, the local history discussion group at the Lee Senior Center will be discussing the life and career of Sally Loving. Miss Loving was one of the first teachers at the Washington and Lee High School when it opened in 1925. She retired in 1962 and was well known for her student government classes. The program will take place on Wednesday, September the 4th at 12:30 p.m. That's at the Lee Community and Senior Center located at 5722 Lee Highway. If you need any more information, just give them a call. That's at 703-228-0555. And as always, we want to thank our own Judy Masomny for this week's Senior Stories. Thank you, Judy.
Thanks, Judy. And we'll be back with sign off and bye-bye right after we hear from our Styrofoam mom. Here's Miriam Gennari.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Sustainable Scoop. Here at the Arlington Weekly News, we are always talking about various issues in the area with regards to sustainability. But my guest today, Andrea Jacobs, is here visiting us from the Caribbean, Antigua and Barbuda. And you are working with the United Nations Environmental Program. And I want to hear a little bit about what brought you to the United States and the projects you're working on.
Hi, thank you for having me, Miriam. Yes, so I won a scholarship from the United Nations. So I'm the first inaugural fellow from the United Nations to attend the Georgetown Law University to pursue a master's in environmental and energy law.
Thank you. Thank God you're here. I'm so glad they found you. And so you are dedicated to the practice of looking into these environmental issues internationally. And then the research that you're doing could affect people locally in places around the world.
Yes, indeed. So I don't know if you know that I'm from an area in the Caribbean that is very low-lying. And 2 years ago, Antigua and Barbuda was decimated by the hurricane, totally wiped out, because of the adverse impacts of climate change. So environmental law and environmental policies, it means a lot to me.
Well, but because you have a background in law, you're more than just somebody who's sitting at the table sharing ideas. You're negotiating change. And one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is that climate change can really inadvertently affect families and children and women who are basically the backbone of their communities, much more so than men. Why is that?
Because first of all, many people don't understand how climate change can affect them, particularly women and vulnerable children, older people, people who live in places that are close to the water. So, for example, like Louisiana in the United States, the territorial USA, such as San Juan, Puerto Rico, where they too was decimated by the hurricane. And because we don't understand it, we don't know how to prepare for it adequately. So we find that when something catastrophic happens, like a hurricane, that is when we're trying to run and trying to find solutions for things that are happening on the ground. As we could see, we saw it in Texas, we saw it in Puerto Rico, we saw it in the Caribbean, we also saw it in Louisiana.
And women are the ones that provide food and water to their families. They take care of the elderly. And yet, in so many situations, they don't have a voice when these devastating things happen, and they're not given the resources to rebuild. So how does your work in resource management and reducing the amount of plastic, but also creating a system that gets this plastic out of the oceans and perhaps creates opportunities work with the UN?
So with the UN, we are an all-inclusive entity organization. So we have a branch called United Nations Women, and they try from the very grassroots levels to get non-profit organizations involved in decision making. So if women become decision makers, they're more informed and they can better make decisions for their family and make decisions moving up. So from the bottom up.
Because they're giving them the opportunity to rebuild. So from the bottom up, they can do things sustainably in a way that could promote growth in their community. What countries would you say are taking the biggest steps towards empowering women on issues that are affecting the environment?
So I would say right now, I would definitely say the U.S. is one of the biggest ones.
That is good to hear.
Yes, whether or not we understand it, the U.S. I would also say Africa.
Oh, yes.
Europe, and definitely the Caribbean. I'm from the Caribbean, so I have to give them a shout out.
Oh, well,
yes.
of course, the island nations are the ones that really.
And Latin America.
And Latin America.
Yes.
I asked Ralph Nader when I interviewed him a while back about what provisions we're making for climate refugees in this country. Where will we take settlements? And will Mexico take us if we need a settlement? And he laughed so hard. We're behind the 8 ball now, right?
Right.
We're not really prepared.
We're not. And truth be told, we do not have any legislation or any protocol for climate change refugees. And whether or not we'll get one in the future, we don't know. But the situation, it needs to be looked into, because at some point, we all might become climate change refugees.
And then global instability?
Precisely.
So what is your goal? I know you're headed back home for a
Yes.
little while, but what is your goal, and how do people reach out to you to support you?
So my goal is basically to keep educating the masses, to be a voice for the voiceless, to be an advocate for good laws, and we need to follow the laws, building codes. Very, very important. Don't build near to the waterfront. If the law says there's a setback, follow the setback, because there's a reason why there's a setback.
You know, a lot of people say that if we just followed what was already on the books, we'd have a very good head start. But I want people to know how to reach you. So how do they get in touch with you?
So my email address is ayjacobs@me.com.
Excellent. And now you're going to have to come back, because we're going to talk about plastic pollution. Specifically, I'd like your thoughts on styrofoam when you come back.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the work you're doing. We're all so grateful around the world. And to your fellow environmentalists and activists, please send them our best.
Thank you, Miriam. Thank you for having me. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
And I want to thank all of you for watching this very special edition of The Sustainable Scoop. Now, back to the news desk.
All right. Thanks, Miriam, and another installment of her Sustainable Scoop, our Styrofoam Mom. We appreciate it, and thank you, and thanks to all of you for watching out there.
We need Labor Day.
Our last show in August, and also a happy upcoming Labor Day weekend to
Yes.
you one and all. So maybe an extra day off. Take time
Just
to
one more.
spend a little time with the family, do a little cookout, just
Barbecue.
relax, enjoy it, feet up, and
Last few days of summer.
Before
Cold
school and
beverage.
before work really gets taken.
absolutely. So thanks again to all of you out there in TV land for watching.
Thank you.
We promise to do our level best to bring you another good show next week. And if you're out there, we'll be here, and we'll try it all again. Happy Labor Day. Take care. Bye-bye.